everybody, we're back with a brand new week of the Cabral Concept. So glad you could join me here today on our Mindset and Motivation Monday. Looking forward to sharing with you one of the most important shows of the year, and it is because we are approaching the halfway mark of this year. So whether you've accelerated rapidly towards your goals this year, which would be amazing, you do have to remember that you need to keep this pace going and keep the same dedication and discipline to achieving your goals in the second half of the year, because if you begin to get distracted or slow down, you may not make it to where you're looking to get to. Now, the other part is for many of us that may not be on track for achieving what we set out for as our hopes and our dreams for this year. So this show is going to be dedicated to those individuals that are really looking to get more out of the 12-month calendar year and are looking to do basically a hard reset, a hard look at their life right now. But if you do that, I'm telling you right now, it's not going to take more than 15 to 20 minutes. We'll stick with this together. And what we're going to do is we're going to find out how to recalibrate, still enjoy the summer, but get back on track with coming up with the plans that you need in order to get to your hopes, dreams, and goals. Let's dive right in. So what I'm talking about always on these Cabral Concept shows are, here's the struggle we're up against, here's the obstacle, here is the problem. Now, we know that there's an issue. Let's not just state the issue. Let's not create fear, but actually the positivity always comes from the solution. So let's look at the specific solution. So usually there's a handful of reasons why we become unwell or things start to go wrong over and all in our life, maybe with our career, our relationships, our body transformation, whatever it might be. What I want to do is give a template, a form that you can use in your own life to begin to then reset anytime you need. So not just maybe every 12 weeks where we look at our quarterly goals in our quarterly 12-week year, but actually how to dial it in anytime you need it. And that might be once a week. All right, the first one is this. We're going to give you lots of tactical things here on today's show. And yes, I'm using the royal we. So whenever we look at what we need to do, the first one is this, it's sleep. Because I'm telling you this, if you woke up with the energy, the drive, the ambition, and the vitality, the overall zest for life every morning, you'd want to push harder in your life, right? So the hard thing is this, if you're waking up groggy or distracted or with brain fog or inflamed or just not feeling well, you're not going to have the natural drive to do more, right? So that actually starts the night before. We need to make sure we're implementing that 3-2-1 sleep formula and figuring out what it is as to why we're not able to get to sleep, right? So 3 hours before bed, we're stopping eating. 2 hours before bed, not a lot of fluids. 1 hour before bed, no more blue light, de-stressing the body, getting a great night's sleep. Getting in bed, staying in bed for at least 7.5 to 9 hours, because you know a half hour, that's not really going to be sleep, right? So if you're struggling with sleep right now, I have an entire set of podcasts just dedicated to sleep. You can find those at stephencabral.com/podcasts. Just scroll through the images at the top, click on the sleep one, and those shows are all free. Dive right in, but we need to reset sleep. Sleep is the cornerstone of our health. I believe it's probably more important than nutrition, than movement, than so many different things in our life, because sleep is the great resetter of our life. We go to bed at night, the body's allowed to rejuvenate, right? It's a little downtime. If we don't get that downtime, we start to burn out faster on the other side. All right, the second one is this. And by the way, anybody can improve their sleep. I was an insomniac for 27 years of my life. I was able to do it. I know that you can as well. The second one is this. Declutter your go-to workspaces. So if it's your kitchen area or whatever it might be, get everything off the countertops, off the table. Keep that space decluttered. If you have an office or you have a desk, get all the items off of the desk. You do not want to be distracted. It's all about distractions. And when you see things everywhere, it kind of opens up tabs on like your proverbial internet browser, right? It's just like, there's so many things to look at. Here's what I do every single weekend. By Friday, there's a lot of stuff on my work desk, and I have a big work desk. It's like 5 feet long. It's a standing desk. I've got a big monitor, all those things on it. A lot to do, a lot of things that I have to keep in front of me. Here's what I do. Yes, by Friday, there's a lot of stuff on it. There's papers, there's all sorts of my to-dos, there's all sorts of things going on, right? Every single weekend, what I do is I declutter that desk so that by Sunday night, it's fresh. I come into Monday morning now ready with an open slate to go to work, not then to figure out what is all this stuff all over my desk or my workspace. take just, for me, it might be 10 minutes, might be 15 maximum if I'm kind of copying notes from one spot to another. And yes, I have a lot of digital things, but I also like some things on paper because it always stays in front of me. Okay, so we need to declutter our workspaces. Find the day of the week that works best for you. It could be the end of day every day. That's totally fine. It's not something that I really do. I do set myself up for the next day, but I'm not looking to get deeply organized every single night because that might just be another to-do, right? And so I look to say, well, once a week. Once a week works for me. You'll find out what works best for you. The third one is this: don't add more. So a lot of people believe that in order to get to their goals, they need to add more. Well, I really debunked this on episode 3734. So you can just go to stephencabral.com/3734. And the biggest thing is that you need to create what is called a not to do list. So much of our day is distractions and to-dos that do not move us closer to our goal and sometimes actually move us away from it. Let me give you an example. Not to-dos. Do not eat foods Monday through Friday that zap your body of energy. If you have processed baked goods for breakfast and you feel terrible, we can't eat those, right? Like, I know it's kind of obvious, but it's also very easy. It's convenient. So what do we need to do? A little pre-planning. We'll talk about that in a moment, but that'll save you from your energy being zapped. What do we need to do? Get to bed a little bit earlier, right? So it's like the not to-dos is can't stay up late. Don't eat foods that don't serve you. Like all of the things that would then enable you to have more energy. Another big one is this: don't scroll for an hour during the day online at things that don't build you up. I'll talk about that one again in a moment as well. But all of those things actually zap your energy because it's dopamine hit after dopamine hit after dopamine hit. Can't do those things. There's a time and place for all of these things. We actually teach them in IHP Mastery. We call it temptation bundling. We actually just went through that module just last week. But temptation bundling is, this is what I do. And again, what I do is not always going to work for you. That's why a lot of this is the Personomics philosophy. It's what works for you in your life. But you have to find something that works in your life. And so I've always found it to be helpful to model other people what they're doing until I find out really what works for me. So what I do is I say, okay, I want to watch YouTube. I want to watch videos like anybody else. I have my own interests. So what I do is on cardio days, or even on weight training now, because I put a little portable TV in my gym, I just pop the iPad on my treadmill and I'm just running for 30, 40 minutes anyways. And so I just get to watch something for 30 to 40 minutes. That's a nice way of doing something productive that will move you towards your goals. My goals are, I have health goals, right? And so if I'm doing my cardio, I get to watch that at the same time. Not only does it help me distracted from the treadmill running, but it also enables me to have a little fun, a little bit of enjoyment. So let's kind of dial in our not to-dos. That's so important because it will save you time then for the critical to-dos that you need to do, which I'm going to talk about in just 1 second. But you need the energy and you can't have the distractions. Okay, so that will get you your time back in terms of energy and less to-dos. Okay, now the fourth one is this, and I only have 7 total. I need you to close the open loops. What are the open loops? It's all the things that you've already committed yourself to, but haven't necessarily done. So it could be emails from the last couple of weeks, text messages you're waiting to get back to on, appointments you're looking to set up, all the obligations you have said yes to. The goal will be to complete them all this week as soon as humanly possible. And then just random ones like doctor's appointments, whatever it might be, totally fine. That's probably not distracting you. But anything that's ongoing that you've said yes to, try to say no to it for 12 weeks. I'm not asking you to hurt other people's feelings. That's not what I'm saying. But like a good colleague of mine, I've known him for 10 years. I always go to his event every single May. And I said, you know what? I am actually not traveling for the next, I called it like 18 months. That is 18 months focused on what I'm looking to achieve with family, with health, with work, with all the different things. And I said, it's not you. You put on a great event. I love what you're doing, and I want to support you in however way I can, but I'm not traveling. It takes 4 to 5 days out of my schedule, 1 travel day, 2 days for the event, sometimes 2.5, and then 1 more day. And so for this, that event, although great, is not moving me forward at all in my life. Now, there are other events that I do go to that I say yes to. I probably go to 4 events per year on my own choosing wise. And then I probably speak at now another 5 to 6. Where it used to be, I traveled twice a month to speak, literally 20 to 30 speaking engagements per year pre-COVID. After that, I said, you know what? I've got young daughters. I've got my own things to do. I love to talk with people. I love to speak, but it is not allowing me to move towards my goals because I have so much time traveling that that's not what I'm looking to do. So now I curate the events. It's probably on average once every 6 weeks or so. That's probably what it is right now. And it's much more appropriate. And I'm only going, some events I'm gone for 4 days or so, but some events are only 2 days to 3 days, right? So even if I fly to the West Coast from East Coast to California, I'll often fly in the afternoon before, do the event the next day, and then I fly home the next day. So even West Coast, I'm back in 3 days. So not for everybody, but again, I still do a lot, speak a lot, and still travel, which I love to do, but it's far more intentional based on my goals as well, health included, right? I don't think traveling twice a month like I was doing is probably the healthiest thing for me. Okay, so that's part of it. Now, the fifth one is this. This goes back to your not to-do list and closing your loops. Because now I need you to add back 1 to 2 things. That's it. 1 to 2 things maximum. And what are the 1 to 2 things? Well, we use the 80-20 rule. So the 80-20 rule is this, is that the 20% of things that you do, think 2 out of 10 things, the 2 things that you do out of 10 will get you 80% of the results, an 8 out of 10. So whenever I'm looking to do something and I say, okay, well, I have a finite period of time, and so do you. So in my day, I might be able to give you 30 minutes. That's it. Like my day's booked, right? So if I have to give an hour to something, that means that I need to then take something else out. And that might be okay. Like that might be something that I do. I have to decide on that, right, for the season. Okay. So now what do I need to do? Well, I need to decide what are the 1 or 2 things that I'm going to do that's going to get me 80% of the results that I'm looking for. So for example, if we were talking weight loss, what do we need to do? Well, if you don't know your 80-20 rule, we need to say, well, the majority of people, when they want to lose weight, what are they doing? Well, they're focused on the energy coming in and the energy going out. What does that mean? It means the food coming into their body, the calories, and the calories they're then expending. Like that's part of the 80-20 rule, right? And so in our practice, that's table stakes, right? Good nutrition and good movement. Not overdoing it. You've seen my different shows on why I don't think that you should do hard workouts right away, boot camps, all those things, because you need to be able to use those in the future to bust through plateaus. So we're literally just doing walking in the beginning, then some body weight training. Then we're just like gradually working our way up. And that's why we're able to help people lose weight and transform their body so quickly and naturally, right? Okay, so that's one part of it. You could choose anything though, like, okay, I want to become a certified health coach. All right, well, what do you need? You need about 30 minutes a day. So 30 minutes a day, early morning, right, as you're getting ready, or lunch, or before bed, like whatever time you can carve out, moonlighting, then you're going to study your material, your online Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, or one of your other favorites to get your health coaching certification. Okay, so that's part of it. And again, like you could do this for anything. Oh, I'm trying to create a business. Okay, well, most people need to be able to then reach more people. Well, the easiest and free way to do that is with Instagram or TikTok or some social media that's literally free, but it takes your time. How much time? About 30 minutes a day. So you're going to simply block out 30 minutes a day that's going to enable you to move towards your goal. And again, whenever you're in doubt because you don't exactly know what to do, you're going to model the people that are in the place that you want to get to. Until then, you find a better way to do it, right? So that's always the way to do it. And then you have to ask yourself, are you actually doing those things, right? Because if you're not at your goal, you're most likely not doing the things that the people are doing who have already achieved that goal. And it's kind of a tough pill to swallow, myself included, because like there's this like self-awareness and then there's extra level of responsibility, but it's what people call turning pro. Like at some point you have to just say, well, if I want the same results that someone else is getting or that you desire, not for someone else, but for you and your family and your loved ones, you say, then these are the things that I have to do. And then you get to make the decision, is it worth it? Yes or no. And if the answer is yes, it's worth it, well, then it's time to get to work. Right? All right. And number 6 is this. Number 6 out of 7 is get the mornings right. Why does this matter? Because if you wake up right away and you're stressed looking at emails, messages, the news, all the things, and you start off the day poorly, it sets the tone for the whole day. This phone, I always keep it an arm's length away at least. This phone right here is upside down. I don't see the screen and all the notifications. In the morning when I wake up, it is not in my bedroom. Okay, it's in my office. So I work from home. I have a home office. I walk to the bathroom. I get myself ready first thing in the morning. And the reason why I do that is that it sets the tone for the day. I put on something motivational. I put on something fun. I put on something light. I put in something relaxing so I don't start my day stressed. I have plenty of time for stress later in the day. And so I'm enjoying that as I'm getting ready, right? And then I hydrate, say hello to my daughters. They're waking up. They're starting to get ready. I finish getting ready, and then I'm making breakfast by the time they're almost about to leave. And I'm just saying hello to them, talking with the day, asking what they're doing, seeing if they need any help with anything or whatever it might be. But, they're on their own little autopilot as well. So that is, for me, the first hour of the day. It's intentional, it's motivational, and then I'm ready after that to get to work. Right? So set your morning and the tone for how you're looking for. You might say, well, I can't do that because I have to get the kids ready, all these things. I get it. I understand that. It usually means waking up 30 minutes earlier. And you might say, I can't wake up 30 minutes earlier because I'm already waking up at 6 o'clock. Okay, totally understand. If you were to wake up then at 5:40, 20 minutes earlier, could you get to bed then by 9:40? I think if the math is correct, it's still about 8 hours in bed, 8 hours of sleep, right? Or get to bed at 9:30, a little bit before, and get your full 8 hours. That will enable you at least 20 minutes to have a little bit less stress in the morning, right? That's sometimes all we need, but get those mornings right. Hydrate, get ready, motivate yourself, have a little bit of food, and then get to work on whatever it is. Again, whatever your work, whatever your goals are. The last one is this. We all need a simple way to measure our success, to measure our metrics. I've talked about the SMART goals before, right? The specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Okay, we can go back and you can check out that podcast as well. We'll try to link them up for you today at stephencabral.com/3755, but they're always on the Mindset and Motivation Monday shows. But here's the thing. What gets tracked gets measured, and what gets measured gets done. So on a daily basis, what are you measuring? If your goal is to lose weight and you're just starting the journey, well, what you might measure is your food log of what you're eating for the day. I don't think you need to count calories, but write down everything you are eating because it makes you more self-aware. And then, did you get in 30 minutes of exercise that day? 5 days a week or so, 6 days a week. Again, like if that's your ultimate goal, you're dedicating 30 minutes to it. You have to eat anyways, so that's not really extra time, right? So we're just going to make healthier choices. But then what we're going to do is we're going to dial in that 30 minutes of movement. In the beginning, like I said, it might just be walking, right? But we're going to get 30 more minutes in the day of movement. That's how you're going to track. Very simple, very straightforward. It can get more sophisticated than that. You can have all sorts of different tracking metrics if you'd like. You can use an Oura Ring or a Whoop strap or an Apple Watch or all these other devices, right? Garmin, and you can track your sleep. Am I getting deep? Am I getting REM? If it was lower last night, I'm not going to get overly concerned about it, but what do I think the reason may have been? Oh, I ate too close to bed. You might add some alcohol, X, Y, and Z, right? So you'll be able to start to see the patterns, and then you'll say, well, I won't do that again, right? Or certainly you'll do your best. It'll happen again, but you'll do your best to have it happen less often, right? That's a big part of it. So all of this is learnings that we can continue to grow from, but you don't get those learnings and you don't have the self-awareness if you are not focused on what needs to be measured. So my last part to this is always, if you can, hire a health coach, hire a personal trainer, hire whoever it is that you need to in order to not only give you the right program, but keep you accountable, right? So everything in life, you're able to have an accountability coach for the most part. And they're often worth their weight in gold. And the reason is why is that if you've been trying to achieve your goals for a long period of time, but it hasn't really happened, and you pretty much know what to do, then what is it? It's just the accountability, because life gets in the way. All the things that I spoke about earlier, all of them get in the way. But when you've hired an individual and you've committed to a certain goal with them, you're more likely to follow through. Just a little bit of hack. I now never start a project without bringing in a teammate or hiring a coach or someone to say, we're working on this together. This is my part that I have to do. This is your part. Let's make it happen together. Then I have to fulfill my side so I don't let them down. So that is why, again, like I'm huge on this, because then everything else starts to fall into place, because I need to get it done so that I don't let the other person down as well. Hopefully all this was helpful. I'd love to hear your tips as well. Always feel free to leave them in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube or listening anywhere, of course, the podcast comes out. Appreciate all of your help. If we can ever be helpful in terms of health, that is what we do in our practice. You can always go to stephencabral.com/consulting. Every week we take on just one new client. But if it's the right fit, then maybe it's the right fit for you. Either way, we appreciate you. We thank you. We're here to help. So have an amazing rest of the day. I'll talk with you tomorrow on a brand new Cabral Concept.